Yo, 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 what is going on, everybody? Today doing a little bit of different video, something I have actually not done in the past. We are going to be doing a little prediction video and outlining the 2022 Arnold Strongman Classic. If you're a part of the sport of strongman or you're just coming into it, you will soon find out that the Arnold Strongman Classic is revered as one of, if not the biggest, strongman competitions in the world. Over the course of the past 20 years or so, the Arnold Strongman Classic has consistently been the heaviest and most brutal competition, and also one of the most elite because of the way you get to compete in it. Now, World's Strongest Man obviously has the title and the prestige behind it. There are 30 athletes, 25 to 30 athletes that compete at World's Strongest Man over the course of a few days. The Arnold Strongman Classic began in 2002 and was essentially invite only to the top 10 strongest men in the world at the time. So getting an invite to this show was always unbelievably prestigious, and it lived up to its name because Terry Todd and Jan Todd, the two directors of the event, designed this contest to be bone-crushingly heavy and really find who is the strongest man ever. Fast forward to modern times, and today we are looking at the Arnold Strongman Classic for 2022. Now, previously, over the past couple of years, there has been a qualification system in place where athletes would have to either compete at the Arnold Strongman Classic and win to get your invite back for the following year, or go to the Arnold International World Series. So essentially, there was Arnold events throughout the world. Athletes would have to go to each one of those to either win one and get your invite back to the Arnold Strongman Classic, or you continuously compete at every single stage of the event to accumulate points throughout the series, and then after all the winners of each event had qualified for the Arnold, the athletes who had the most accumulation of points throughout the year would fill in the remainder of spots. Also, one of the spots goes to the winner of the Arnold Amateur World Championships as well. So, 2022, what does the Arnold look like? We're going back to an invite style because of COVID and what is going on, and there were no international events that really occurred for the qualification series. So let's go through the list of athletes competing at the Arnold Strongman Classic this year. We have Maxime Boudreau of Canada, JF Caron of Canada as well, Matusz Kieliszkowski from Poland, Martins Lisis, Evgeny Markov from Russia, Trey Mitchell from the USA, Oleksiy Novikov from the Ukraine, the Stoltman brothers from Scotland, and Moa. So this was an exciting event for me to get invited to because, to be honest, didn't really know how it would pan out. 2020, I placed tied for sixth at the Arnold Strongman Classic with Mikhail Shivlikov. And for 2021, had the event gone on, I was going to be invited as one of the athletes because they were taking the top six. With Thor retiring from the sport of strongman, Misha and I both got invites to the Arnold for 2021. Now, 2021 didn't happen, so I really didn't know what they were going to do for invites for the year. But fortunately, I feel that with my performance at the Rogue Invitational, taking sixth place there as well, for some reason I really like taking sixth place. We were looking to change that at the Arnold this year, though. I was lucky enough to get the call back. So really, really excited and honored to come back to the Arnold Strongman Classic. It is a dream of mine to be able to compete at this event, and to be there consecutively now is really exciting. So we're going to dive into the events, and they are interesting. Again, it is heavy. We are starting off the first day with a heavy squat. They're calling it the heavy squat. It says using a barbell. We don't really have the parameters of the event or what the implement is going to look like. All we know is that it's going to be a max squat with 3 attempts. That's it. So we don't know if it is going to be like World's Strongest Man style with the big canisters on the side where you're hitting something on the bottom and coming up. Is it a free squat with judges on 3 sides? We really don't know. Are there suits, briefs, and wraps allowed? Is it a raw squat? There's a lot of questions still to be answered. That is all we have right now. Looking at the squat event, I think there's a couple of minds that come to the forefront. Martins Lisis obviously being one of them. Matusz Novikov, I think I'm going to be up there. My best squat ever was 825 pounds, and to be honest, I wasn't training for a max squat at that time. It was really just a YOLO lift, if you will, right before I went in for surgery to remove my testicle for cancer. So I think I can be in the mix for this event. It's really going to be interesting what the parameters that they set are. So I think those are going to be the 4 athletes really to look for in the squat. The second event on day 2 is a monster dumbbell press for reps, 275 pounds, and we have 90 seconds, clean and press each rep. This is interesting because over the years past, the Sear dumbbell has been extremely popular with the Arnold Strongman Classic, and we just saw it at the Rogue Invitational as well. Now, this event, it says Monster Dumbbell, not Sear, and it says 275, not 273. So I believe this is going to be the Rogue 12-inch Monster Dumbbell that you see online. Luckily, I do have one. 275 clean and press for reps with a 90-second time limit. Now, I think with this event, the dumbbell is going to be difficult for some people because it is massive. It is 12 inches diameter, a 3-inch handle. It is huge. The clean can be really taxing because of the size of the dumbbell. That being said, though, the press tends to be almost a little bit easier because it is a bigger diameter, sits higher up on the shoulder, so the range of motion of the press is a little bit shorter. 275 for reps, 90 seconds. You know, I think obviously the main favorite for this event is going to be Oleksiy Novikov. He cleared the dumbbell ladder at the Rogue Invitational, and I think he just has this unbelievable comfortability when under a dumbbell where he has such a smooth transition from the clean onto the shoulder, and he literally gets it in place so quickly that once the dumbbell's on his shoulder, he doesn't take a breath or rest. He actually he initiates his dip and goes straight up into the press right away. So really, really exciting to watch him. You know, fortunately, dumbbell press is a decent event for me, especially at that weight. So, and on that dumbbell, you know, Martins had a great run with the dumbbell as well. You know, I'm interested to see what the Stoltmans do. They were both pretty good at the Rogue Invitational as well. So there's a lot of guys that are going to be in the mix for this event, but Oleksiy Novikov is going to be the one to watch for me. So that ends it for day 1. So we have the max squat, dumbbell clean and press for reps. Heavy day, 2 events. And then we open up day 2 with an even heavier event, or another heavy event, a max log. So if we had this event in 2020, I would be jumping out of my seat with excitement right now because it is going to be on the Austrian Oak, which is this gorgeous log that is made by Steve Slater and his team. But I'm a little bummed out it happened now because of my tricep injury when rupturing it. It is 3 attempts for a max weight. This is going to be an interesting one for me. I think my 2 favorites for this event are actually Max Boudreau of Canada and Trey Mitchell from here in the U.S. I think both of them are really going to push this event. I could see, well, then we also have Luke Stoltman and Tom Stoltman. So we have 4 massive pressers coming into this event. I feel that because all 4 of the biggest pressers of this event have never been on the Austrian Oak. Mateusz has been on the Austrian Oak, but he, like me, is coming back from a tricep tear. You know, it really is going to be interesting to see who can manipulate this log the best. But as I said, I think Max Boudreau, Trey Mitchell, Luke Stoltman are my top 3 for the max log. Event number 4, another one that I'm not too thrilled about, is the timber carry. We had this in 2020, is 880 pounds of a timber frame that you have to carry up a ramp 35 feet. I zeroed this event. So, you know, I can't say I'm terribly excited about this event. It has a 30-second time cap. We saw Mateusz Kieliszkowski in 2020 break a world record on this event, which I feel is why they might be bringing it back this year. So he is certainly a favorite. And then we also have Martins, who has amazing grip. He's going to be up there as well. JF Caron can typically move pretty well with this event. So, and then you have Novikov. So you have a lot of great athletes. I'm hoping I can just pick it up this year, to be honest. And finally, the last event, day 2 of the contest, we're going to a stone to shoulder. Now, this is going to be the Ode Haugens Tombstone. So it is 186 kilos, so 409 pounds. It is a natural stone, tacky towels only, no tacky allowed. 2.5 minutes to complete as many reps from the ground to shoulder as possible. When the stone gets to the shoulder, it has to be under control, held on the shoulder, and one hand has to come off of the stone to be counted as a good rep. Mateusz Kieliszkowski has the world record in this event as well. So I think he's done 5, I think is the record. And it's going to be pretty interesting. This is an event I feel I'll hold my own on. I think I can definitely probably be in that 2, maybe 3 rep range. I think will be solid. And, I think that'll put me in a pretty good position to hopefully, put myself in a good finishing spot for this event. Overall, I think this contest is really up in the air to who the winner is going to be. I think my standout favorites, which we aren't going to be surprised about, are going to be Matoush, Martins, Novikov, Tom Stoltman, are really going to be the 4 that I see. And, those were also the 4 on the podium at the Rogue, or the top 4 placing athletes at the Rogue Invitational. JF Caron just behind them in 5th, and then myself in 6th. So there's a lot that can happen with this event. I think there's a lot of variability. We have Trey Mitchell and Max Boudreau coming in for their first Arnold Strongman Classic appearances. We also have Bobby Thompson, who's going to be the alternate for the event. So should one of us drop out before the event occurs, Bobby's going to slide in as that spot to fill in. So it's going to be a really, really interesting event. My goal personally is to crack that top 5. That has been my goal. That was my goal at the Arnold Strongman Classic 2020. It was my goal at the Rogue Invitational this past year, and I just barely missed out on both, placing 6th. So coming in 5th at the Arnold this year would be a massive, massive win for me. I would be so, so, so excited to do that, and that's really what I'm going to be pushing for in the coming months leading up to the Arnold Strongman Classic. I think for me as an athlete, the event does I will be able to hold my own. The max log and the timber carry are 2 events that do concern me the most, but the other 3 I feel confident I can really hold my own on and do very well. If I can put something up in the low 4s, hopefully, for the Arnold, for the max log, I think that would be good enough to get me some points and not completely kill my chances. And the frame carry, really just got to try to pick it up and move it. That's going to be my goal. I'm going to be hammering my grip training over the next few weeks. Frames, farmers, whatever I can to get these bad boys a little bit stronger and hopefully give myself a chance at that timber frame carry at the Arnold Strongman Classic in 2022. So as you can see, a lot going into it. Tickets are currently on sale for the Arnold Strongman Classic on their website, arnoldsportsfestival.com. Go to the Strongman page. They're doing something brand new with the Arnold Strongman Classic this year, and they have built a Strongman Arena. You can buy tickets for reserved seats. I recommend doing so because there are only a certain amount of seats available. And then after that, it is going to be standing room only. As we know, with the Arnold, as of right now, happening as normal as it has in the past, the Arnold Strongman Classic is one of the most popular events. And now with it having its own arena setting, people are going to be flocking to it to watch us do some pretty insane things. So check out arnoldsportsfestival.com to get your tickets. Make sure you check out the Arnold Strongman Classic page for all their different ticketing levels. As always, make sure you check out all of my sponsors down below in the description as well. Coupon codes next to all of those that have them. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, share the video, like the video, give us some loving, and until next time, peace out.